Hello, and welcome to the channel. My name is Jay. Today, we're embarking on a journey to explore something truly special, something I've come to admire deeply, the unique and profound femininity of Filipinas. It's a quality that seems to radiate from them, a blend of grace, strength, and warmth that is both captivating and deeply inspiring. It's more than just appearance or mannerisms, it's a way of being that feels woven into the very fabric of their culture. I've often found myself wondering what makes this expression of femininity so distinct and so powerful. This isn't about putting anyone on a pedestal or creating stereotypes. Instead, it's a heartfelt exploration, a desire to understand the cultural, historical, and personal threads that come together to create this beautiful tapestry. We'll be looking at everything from family values and cultural traditions to the quiet resilience that so many Filipinas possess. It's a femininity that isn't fragile, but is instead rooted in a deep well of strength and emotional intelligence. For me, understanding this is about appreciating a different perspective on what it means to be a woman in the world today. So I invite you to join me with an open mind and an open heart as we delve into the many facets of Filipina femininity. We'll uncover why it resonates with so many people around the globe and what we can all learn from its delicate balance of softness and strength, tradition and modernity. This is a celebration of a culture and the incredible women who embody its spirit. Let's begin this journey together and discover the stories and values that make Filipinas shine so brightly. To truly begin to understand the essence of Filipina femininity, we have to start with the cultural soil in which it grows. Filipino society for generations has been a place where traditional gender roles are not just remembered, but actively upheld and cherished. From a very young age, girls are often guided by the concept of mahinin, a word that doesn't have a perfect English equivalent, but beautifully encapsulates modesty, gracefulness, and a gentle demeanor. It's a cultural blueprint that encourages women to be the nurturing heart of the home and the community. This isn't seen as a limitation, but as a respected and vital role. This upbringing shapes a woman who moves through the world with a certain poise. It's in the way she carries herself, the softness in her voice, and the innate sense of decorum she often displays. These aren't just behaviors, they are values passed down from mothers and grandmothers, woven into daily life through stories, expectations, and gentle correction. The ideal is to be graceful under pressure, to be a calming presence, and to embody a kind of refined elegance that is deeply admired. This cultural conditioning creates a foundation for a femininity that is both visible and deeply felt. It's important to recognize that this isn't about being submissive or weak. In the Filipino context, these traits are sources of quiet strength. A woman who is mahinhin is seen as having immense self-control and emotional fortitude. She is the steady hand that guides the family, the one who maintains harmony and brings beauty to her surroundings. This traditional framework, while evolving, continues to be a powerful influence, shaping women who are raised to see their nurturing spirit and grace as core components of their identity and as a powerful contribution to the world around them. At the very core of Filipino culture is the family. It's not just an institution, it's the center of the universe, and a Filipina's role within it is paramount. From childhood, she is taught that her greatest purpose and joy will be found in caring for her loved ones. This goes far beyond simple duty. It's an expression of profound love and devotion. The family unit is her sanctuary and her responsibility, and she is often the emotional anchor that holds everyone together. This deep-seated prioritization of family is a cornerstone of her femininity, manifesting as an incredible capacity for nurturing and emotional care. This devotion is visible in countless ways. It's in the way she looks after her aging parents, a practice known as pagmamano, a gesture of respect by taking an elder's hand to the forehead, symbolizing this deep reverence. It's in the fierce protection she feels for her siblings and the endless patience she has for her children. Her home is often a reflection of this care, a place of warmth, comfort, and, of course, amazing food. She understands that a strong family is built on a foundation of emotional connection, and she works tirelessly to foster those bonds, often putting the needs of others before her own without a second thought. This family-centric worldview shapes a femininity that is inherently relational and deeply empathetic. Her identity is intertwined with her role as a daughter, a sister, a wife, and a mother. This isn't to say she doesn't have her own ambitions, but they are almost always viewed through the lens of how they will benefit her family. This selfless dedication, this constant pouring of love and emotional support into her family, is widely interpreted as the epitome of a nurturing femininity, a life lived in service to those she holds most dear. Communication in the Philippines is an art form, and one of the most striking aspects of Filipina femininity is a preference for a soft-spoken and gentle demeanor. This isn't about being silent, it's about choosing words with care and delivering them with a softness that aims to preserve harmony. Loud, aggressive, or confrontational speech is generally frowned upon in the culture, as it's seen as disruptive and disrespectful. A Filipina often learns from a young age that there is great power in gentleness, and that a calm tone can achieve far more than a raised voice. This communication style is deeply tied to the cultural value of pakikisama, or the importance of getting along with others and maintaining smooth interpersonal relationships. A Filipina will often go to great lengths to avoid causing offense or creating conflict. She might use indirect language, gentle suggestions, or a warm smile to soften a difficult message. This patience and non-confrontational approach can sometimes be misinterpreted by outsiders, but it is, in fact, a sophisticated social skill. It's a way of navigating the world that prioritizes respect and emotional well-being for everyone involved. This gentle way of speaking reinforces a feminine image that is approachable, patient, and kind. It creates an atmosphere of safety and trust around her, making people feel comfortable and heard. Her voice itself can be a soothing presence, a reflection of an inner state of calm that she strives to maintain. This deliberate choice to communicate with grace and softness, even in challenging situations, is a hallmark of her femininity. It's a quiet strength that commands respect not through volume, but through its unwavering gentility and profound respect for others. There's a certain elegance and polish that you often notice in Filipinas, and it really stems from a cultural emphasis on taking pride in one's appearance. This isn't about vanity, it's about self-respect and the idea that how you present yourself to the world is a reflection of your inner state and your respect for others. From a young age, girls are taught the importance of being, which means neat, tidy, and well put together. This value is applied to everything from their homes to their personal grooming, and it becomes a hallmark of their femininity. Whether she's going to work, to church, or just to the market, a Filipina will often make an effort to look her best. But this doesn't necessarily mean elaborate makeup or expensive clothes. More often, it's about the details: clean, pressed clothing, neatly styled hair, and a general air of freshness. There's a cultural appreciation for looking clean and smelling good, which is why things like daily bathing, lotions, and light perfumes are so ingrained in the daily routine. It's a way of showing that she cares about herself and the impression she makes. This attention to grooming contributes to an image of femininity that is refined, graceful, and deliberate. It signals that she is organized, disciplined, and has a high regard for herself and her community. In a tropical climate where it can be easy to become disheveled, maintaining this level of neatness is a conscious effort and a source of pride. It's a quiet statement of dignity and self-worth. This dedication to presenting a polished exterior is seen not as a chore, but as a beautiful and essential expression of her feminine identity. To understand the soul of the Philippines, you have to understand its faith. As the only predominantly Christian nation in Asia, the influence of religion, particularly Catholicism, runs deep in the culture and has profoundly shaped the concept of Filipina femininity. Christian values like humility, service, chastity, and modesty are not just religious ideals. They are cultural standards that have been woven into the fabric of what it means to be a good woman. The Virgin Mary, in particular, is held up as the ultimate exemplar of pure and devoted femininity. This religious framework encourages a certain kind of reserved and virtuous femininity. Modesty, both in behavior and in dress, is highly valued. The ideal woman is seen as someone who is humble, who doesn't draw undue attention to herself, and who dedicates herself to serving God and her family. This moral compass guides her actions and decisions, instilling a sense of duty and a desire to live a life that is pleasing in the eyes of God. This spiritual foundation gives her a quiet strength and a moral clarity that is central to her character. This doesn't mean Filipinas are without a sense of fun or joy. Far from it. But their joy is often tempered with a sense of propriety and grace. The values of forgiveness, compassion, and self-sacrifice are deeply ingrained, contributing to a femininity that is not only gentle, but also incredibly resilient and forgiving. Her faith provides her with a source of comfort in times of hardship and a guide for how to navigate the world with grace and integrity. This spiritual dimension adds a profound depth to her femininity, making it not just a social construct, but a moral and spiritual one as well. The Philippines is a fascinating cultural crossroads, and this is beautifully reflected in the unique femininity of its women. At its heart, it is an Asian culture, with all the politeness, respect for hierarchy, and emphasis on harmony that this implies. You see this in the gentle demeanor, the soft-spoken nature, and the non-confrontational communication style we've discussed. There is an inherent grace and subtlety that feels distinctly Southeast Asian. This is the foundation of her charm, a quiet, respectful elegance that is both calming and admirable. But then, you add over 300 years of Spanish colonization, and something magical happens. This Asian politeness is infused with a fiery, expressive warmth that feels almost Latina in spirit. This is where the passion, the emotional expressiveness, and the vibrant love of life come from. It's in the easy laughter, the physical affection, the love of music and dance, and the fierce loyalty to family and friends. This Spanish influence breaks through the Asian reserve, adding a layer of spiritedness and overt affection that is incredibly endearing. It is this beautiful, unlikely fusion that creates a femininity unlike any other. A Filipina can be reserved and modest one moment, then burst into song or a fit of giggles the next. She has the grace of a classic Asian beauty and the passionate heart of a Spanish señorita. This duality makes her incredibly dynamic and engaging. She is sweet yet spirited, gentle yet strong-willed. This blend of East and West, of quiet politeness and expressive warmth, is perhaps the secret ingredient to her captivating and uniquely balanced charm. If you have ever been a guest in a Filipino home, you have experienced one of the most beautiful expressions of Filipina femininity firsthand, their legendary hospitality. In the Philippines, a guest is a sacred blessing, and the woman of the house often takes the lead in ensuring that visitor feels not just welcome, but cherished. This goes far beyond simply offering a seat or a drink. A Filipina will often go out of her way, sometimes to an extraordinary degree, to make sure her guest is comfortable, well-fed, and happy. This is a core part of her identity. This hospitality is delivered with a genuine sweetness and a cheerful disposition that is infectious. The Tagalog phrase, "Tuloy po kayo," which means "please come in," is always said with a warm, genuine smile. She will offer you the best food she has, often insisting you eat more, and will engage you in conversation with a sincere interest in your well-being. This accommodating and kind nature isn't a performance. It's an authentic expression of her desire to connect with and care for others. It's a femininity that is deeply relational and generous. This sweetness extends beyond just hospitality. It's in her everyday interactions, the pleasant greeting to a shopkeeper, the patient smile in a crowded market, the kind word to a stranger. This cheerful and accommodating nature reinforces an emotional and relational femininity that is incredibly attractive. It makes her approachable and easy to be around. Her ability to create a warm and positive atmosphere wherever she goes is one of her greatest gifts, a testament to a femininity that is built on a foundation of kindness, generosity, and a sweet, open heart. One of the most common misconceptions about traditional femininity is that it equates to weakness. The Filipina shatters this stereotype completely. Her femininity is not fragile. It is interwoven with a profound and awe-inspiring strength. This is a resilience born from a history of overcoming challenges, from colonialism and economic hardship to the personal sacrifices many make for their families. She embodies a grace under pressure that is nothing short of heroic. Her softness is not the absence of strength, but the beautiful vessel that contains it. Think of the millions of overseas Filipino workers, a significant portion of whom are women. They leave their own children and families behind to work in foreign lands as nurses, caregivers, and domestic helpers, all to provide a better future for their loved ones. This act of immense sacrifice requires a level of emotional fortitude and inner strength that is staggering. They face loneliness, discrimination, and grueling work with a quiet dignity, sending home not just money, but love and hope, all while maintaining their graceful and nurturing demeanor. This is the paradox and the power of Filipina femininity. It is both soft and unbreakable. She can be the gentle, nurturing heart of the home and also its fiercest defender and provider. She can weep with empathy for another's pain and then face her own struggles with a steely resolve. Her strength isn't loud or aggressive. It's a quiet, enduring force that carries her and her family through the most difficult of times. She proves that true femininity is not about being delicate, but about having a strength so deep that it can afford to be gentle. Beyond the visible traits of grace and gentleness lies a deeper, more subtle quality that is central to Filipina femininity, a high degree of emotional intelligence. This is the ability to perceive, understand, and manage emotions, both her own and those of others. A Filipina is often incredibly attuned to the emotional atmosphere around her. She can read the subtle cues in a person's tone of voice, body language, and expression, allowing her to respond with remarkable empathy and sensitivity. This skill is often referred to in Tagalog as pakikiramdam, or the art of feeling others out. This emotional attunement makes her a master of maintaining social harmony. She knows when to speak and when to stay silent, when to offer comfort and when to give space. She uses her sensitivity not to manipulate, but to nurture relationships and prevent conflict. If she senses tension in a room, she will often be the one to subtly diffuse it with a kind word, a gentle joke, or a change of subject. Her goal is always to create a feeling of ease and connection, making her an invaluable presence in any family or social group. This soft power is a cornerstone of her femininity. It allows her to be a confidant, a mediator, and a source of emotional stability for those around her. Her empathy is not a weakness, it is her superpower. It enables her to build deep, meaningful connections and to navigate the complexities of human relationships with a grace that is truly admirable. This profound emotional intelligence, this ability to feel and respond to the hearts of others, is a reflection of a femininity that is not just soft on the surface but deeply compassionate at its core. In a world that often seems to prize loudness and overt self-expression, the Filipinas' embrace of modesty offers a refreshingly different vision of femininity. This modesty, or mahinhin, is a cultural ideal that touches both her behavior and her sense of style. In her conduct, it translates to a preference for soft speech, avoiding profanity, and refraining from boisterous or attention-seeking behavior in public. It's about carrying oneself with a sense of dignity and self-respect that doesn't require being the center of attention. This quiet confidence is seen as incredibly charming and graceful. This preference for modesty is also beautifully reflected in her fashion choices. While styles are, of course, diverse and modern, there is often a cultural inclination towards aesthetics that are cute, elegant, or classic, rather than overtly revealing or aggressive. She might favor flowing dresses, soft fabrics, and well-tailored outfits that accentuate her grace without being provocative. The emphasis is on looking beautiful and respectable, on creating an image of refined femininity that is both approachable and admirable. This style is a conscious choice, a way of expressing her identity in a way that aligns with her values. This combination of modest behavior and elegant dress creates a powerful and cohesive image of femininity. It's a femininity that doesn't need to shout to be heard. Her avoidance of public confrontation, her gentle way of speaking, and her tasteful clothing all work together to build a persona that is charming, disarming, and deeply feminine. It's a quiet allure that draws people in not with loudness, but with the magnetic pull of her understated grace and the serene confidence she exudes in her own skin. Around the world, there's a certain reputation that precedes Filipinas, and it is that of being exceptional caregivers. Whether as nurses in hospitals from London to Los Angeles, or as nannies and caretakers in homes across the Middle East and Europe, they have become the global gold standard for nurturing. This isn't a coincidence or a mere economic phenomenon. It stems from a cultural disposition that deeply values and cultivates a maternal and caring nature. The skills of caregiving are often learned from a young age, as they help look after younger siblings or elderly relatives. This nurturing instinct is a fundamental part of their feminine identity. They possess a seemingly bottomless well of patience, empathy, and compassion that makes them perfectly suited for these roles. They don't just perform the tasks of caregiving, they pour their hearts into it. A Filipina nurse isn't just administering medicine, she's offering a comforting word, a gentle touch, and a reassuring smile that can make all the difference to a patient's healing. This ability to combine professional skill with genuine human warmth is what makes them so sought after and so beloved. This global role as caregivers has, in turn, reinforced the image of Filipina femininity as being inherently nurturing. They have demonstrated on a world stage that their capacity for care is not just a family value, but a world-class skill. It's a femininity that is active, that serves, and that heals. Their success and reputation in these fields are a source of national pride, a testament to the power of a culture that raises its women to be not just strong, but to be strong for others, embodying a maternal spirit that extends far beyond their own homes. For many Filipinas, femininity is not just a set of behaviors they perform. It is a core part of their identity that they embrace with pride and confidence. It's not seen as a patriarchal imposition or a source of weakness. Instead, it is viewed as a source of immense power and influence, particularly within the family and the community. The traditional roles of being a nurturing wife, a devoted mother, and the keeper of the home are not seen as lesser, but as essential and deeply honorable. She understands that her feminine qualities are the very things that allow her to create harmony and beauty in her world. This embrace of femininity is worn like a badge of honor. There's a joy and a confidence in the way she moves, dresses, and interacts with the world. She finds strength in her softness, power in her patience, and influence in her ability to nurture. This perspective allows her to navigate the world without feeling the need to adopt traditionally masculine traits to be taken seriously. She knows her worth and understands that her unique feminine gifts are a vital contribution to society. This internal conviction is what makes her femininity so authentic and radiant. It's not something she's forced into, it's something she chooses and cultivates. She sees it as a way to achieve balance within herself, in her relationships, and in her community. By embracing her femininity as a central part of who she is, she projects a sense of wholeness and self-acceptance that is incredibly compelling. It is a femininity that is not just lived, but celebrated with a quiet, unshakable pride. The beauty of the Filipina is renowned, and honestly, it's as diverse as the islands themselves. This incredible variety is a direct result of the Philippines' rich and complex history as a melting pot of cultures. The foundational heritage is Austronesian, which provides the classic Southeast Asian features: the warm skin tones, the dark, expressive eyes, and the graceful bone structure. This is the ancient canvas upon which centuries of history have painted. It is the bedrock of her natural tropical beauty. Upon this foundation, centuries of trade and colonization added new layers and influences. Chinese traders brought their features, contributing to the delicate skin and almond-shaped eyes seen in many Filipinas. The long period of Spanish rule introduced European blood, resulting in lighter complexions, taller statures, and more mestiza features in some. Finally, the American presence in the 20th century added yet another dimension to this genetic tapestry. This blend of East and West, of island and mainland, has created a spectrum of beauty that is truly unique in the world. And this mixed ancestry does more than just contribute to physical beauty. It also fosters a kind of adaptable and cosmopolitan femininity. Having a heritage that is a blend of so many different cultures creates an innate openness and an ability to navigate different social contexts with ease. It has contributed to a femininity that is at once exotic and familiar, traditional and modern. This beautiful and complex heritage is a living testament to the Philippines' history, and it is reflected in the diverse and captivating faces of its women. Navigating the character of a Filipina reveals a fascinating and powerful duality, a delicate balance between a strong, independent mind and a wise willingness to yield for the sake of harmony. She is by no means a pushover. In fact, many Filipinas are incredibly strong-willed, opinionated, and highly capable. They are often well-educated, resourceful, and fully able to manage finances, run businesses, and make critical decisions for the family. In many Filipino households, it is the woman who holds the purse strings and acts as the de facto manager. However, this independence is tempered by a deep cultural understanding of the importance of partnership and respect, particularly within a romantic relationship. While she is strong, she does not feel the need to constantly assert her dominance. She knows when to lead and when to follow. She understands the art of submission not as a sign of weakness, but as a strategic choice to maintain peace and show respect for her partner. It's a dance of give and take, where she yields in certain areas to create a more harmonious and loving environment. This ability to balance her own strength with a graceful deference is a sophisticated expression of her femininity. It allows her to be a formidable individual and a supportive partner simultaneously. She is not defined by either her independence or her submissiveness, but by her wisdom in knowing when to employ each. This creates a dynamic and attractive mix of strength and softness, making her a partner who is both capable and complementary, a woman who can stand on her own 2 feet but chooses to walk alongside you in partnership. Beyond all the specific cultural traits and values, there is an overarching quality to Filipino femininity that is simply impossible to ignore: a natural, radiant warmth. It's in their famous smiles, which are quick to appear and always seem to reach their eyes. This isn't a forced politeness, it's a genuine joyfulness, a light that seems to emanate from within. Even in the face of hardship, a Filipina can often find a reason to laugh, to find a moment of levity. This optimistic and cheerful disposition is one of her most defining and attractive characteristics. This warmth manifests in a very affectionate nature. Filipinas are often comfortable with physical touch as a form of connection: a hand on the arm during a conversation, a warm hug for a friend, or playful affection with loved ones. This creates an inviting and inclusive atmosphere around her. People are drawn to her because she makes them feel seen, accepted, and cherished. Her presence can light up a room, replacing tension with a sense of ease and happiness. This inherent joyfulness and warmth are perhaps the most direct expressions of her feminine charm. It's a charm that is not calculated or contrived, but flows naturally from a positive outlook on life and a deep love for people. It is the sweet melody that plays beneath all her other qualities: her strength, her grace, her devotion. This ability to spread joy and warmth with a simple smile or a kind word is a powerful gift, creating an inviting feminine energy that is both comforting and utterly captivating. The story of the Philippines is one of constant struggle and survival, and this history has forged an incredible resilience in the hearts of its women. This is a strength that is quiet, enduring, and profoundly graceful. A Filipina may face immense challenges: poverty, natural disasters, family separation, personal heartbreak, but she rarely breaks. Instead, she bends, adapts, and finds a way to carry on, not just for herself, but for everyone who depends on her. This ability to endure hardship without losing her softness or her loving nature is a testament to her inner fortitude. This resilience is not loud or boastful. It's a quiet strength that you see in her eyes. It's the mother who works 2 jobs to send her children to school, yet still has a smile for them at the end of the day. It's the wife who supports her family through a financial crisis with unwavering faith and resourcefulness. She may cry in private, she may feel the weight of the world on her shoulders, but in public, she carries herself with a dignity and grace that hides the true extent of her burdens. This capacity to remain loving and graceful through adversity is perhaps the most noble aspect of her femininity. It proves that her softness is not a liability, but an asset, allowing her to absorb life's blows without becoming hard or bitter. She embodies the Filipino proverb, "Ang matibay na walis, palibasay magkabigkis." A broom is sturdy because its strands are tied together, showing that her strength comes from her connection to family and faith. She weathers every storm with a quiet power that is both humbling and deeply inspiring. At her core, the Filipina is often a true romantic. She is raised on stories of epic love, soulful ballads, and the idea of finding a lifelong partner. She approaches relationships with an open heart and a touch of idealism, dreaming of a love that is deep, committed, and true. She loves the gestures of romance, the courtship, or panliligaw, the love letters, the thoughtful gifts, and sees them as beautiful expressions of genuine affection. This romantic nature makes her a passionate and attentive partner, one who loves to love and be loved. However, this romanticism is firmly anchored by an unwavering sense of loyalty. Once a Filipina gives her heart, she gives it completely and faithfully. For her, a commitment is sacred. Betrayal of trust is one of the deepest wounds one can inflict, because her own loyalty is so absolute. She will stand by her partner through thick and thin, offering her unwavering support, encouragement, and love. This isn't a blind loyalty, but a conscious choice to invest everything she has into the success of the relationship. This beautiful combination of a romantic soul and a loyal heart makes her an incredible partner in life. She brings passion and magic to the relationship, but she also provides the stability and security that comes from knowing you have someone who will always be in your corner. Her love is not fleeting or conditional, it is a deep, enduring force. She seeks a partner worthy of this devotion, and when she finds him, she offers a love that is as idealistic in its dreams as it is steadfast in its reality. As we come to the end of our journey, it becomes clear that the femininity of the Filipina is not one single quality, but a beautiful and complex harmony of many. It's the gentle grace of her demeanor combined with the fierce strength of her spirit. It is the deep reverence for family and tradition, balanced with a modern resilience and an adaptable, open mind. It is a femininity that is expressed through incredible warmth, profound emotional intelligence, and a loyalty that is as romantic as it is unwavering. It's a quiet power, a soft strength that doesn't need to announce itself. What I find most inspiring is how these qualities are not seen as contradictions, but as complementary parts of a whole. A Filipina can be both submissive and independent, both soft-spoken and strong-willed, both a dreamer and a pragmatist. This ability to hold these dualities in perfect balance is, I believe, the true essence of her unique charm. It's a lesson for all of us in the power of embracing all facets of our character, in understanding that strength and softness are not opposites, but two sides of the same resilient heart. Ultimately, to admire Filipina femininity is to admire a culture that has cultivated a vision of womanhood that is deeply rooted in love, service, and grace. It's a celebration of the quiet heroes who build strong families, nurture communities, and face the world's challenges with a smile. I hope this exploration has given you a deeper appreciation for these incredible women. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please share your own thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I'm Jay, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.